two countries.
JCCT
At the provincial and
luncheon is
municipal
also
levels.
not only the luncheon, but for
We
holding
too
this
suggest
conference here in
that
Chicago.
need-
It's fitting for us, as you reimagine the JCCT entity, that you would pick the city of Chicago that I refer to as the most American of American cities. But it's also on the anniversary of my trip to China, where we signed the historic Gateway Agreement between the city of Chicago and 8 cities in China. That trip was really a culmination of the work of my good friend and my predecessor, Mayor Daley, who's here with us today. Thank you. And I want to personally take this moment to thank him for the many trips he made to China to build the foundation for that Gateway Agreement that allows Chicago the unique opportunity California has as a state, but the city of Chicago has as a city, with the 8 cities, most promising cities, biggest cities in China, with the city of Chicago. That agreement we signed was truly a culmination of his work and our ability to now open a relationship and build a foundation of commerce, culture, and cooperation between the people of the city of Chicago and our 8 gateway cities that we have an agreement with. Since everybody decided to speak about the city of Chicago, I as the mayor decided I'll have the final word. I do want to welcome you, as I said, to the most American of American cities. As I often jokingly say, New York looks to Europe, LA looks to itself, and the rest of the world looks to the city of Chicago. But you are in the city, as has been noted by Secretary Pritzker. Unlike other cities in America, it has the most diverse economy. No one sector drives more than 13% of our employment. So whether it's healthcare, technology, transportation, professional services, manufacturing, no one sector drives more than 13% of the employment. In every effort in this analysis that has been done, the city of Chicago, there's been 3 studies across 100 cities across the world done on a comparative basis. Each of the studies have concluded the same thing. The city of Chicago is the 2nd most competitive economy in all of North America, and in the top 10 ranking, either 9th, 8th, or 7th worldwide, and as the mayor, I believe in the number 7. All of them concluded the same reason for the city of Chicago, and I think what's unique in that world ranking is that the city of Chicago was the only city in that top 10 ranking worldwide that is not either the financial or the political capital of that respective country. So its strength and its ability to rank at that level is due to the talent and the skills of the people that make up this great city. 36% of the people in the city of Chicago have a 4-year college degree or better, and in the United States that number is 27%. So the education and skill level of the people in this city is what drives its economic growth. And as we were talking earlier, and as we did last night, the talent and skills of people that make up a city will make up its future. We also are home to 15 4-year higher learning institutions. We also have more alumni from the Big 10 universities than any other city in America. So we continue to out-educate not only the rest of the country, but compete worldwide on the skills and educational quality of the people of the city, here in the city of Chicago, comparatively around the world. Second is our transportation system. Because of O'Hare and Midway Airport, there's nowhere in the world or nowhere in the United States or North America you cannot get to directly, daily, multiple times, weather permitting, and that's something we're working on right now. But the relationship between China and Chicago is expressed not only by our major airlines here in the States, but also Hainan Airlines and the cooperation we have there and the capacity to fly between Chicago and China in multiple different cities, multiple times a day, express the opportunity and speak to the opportunity that you can get anywhere in the United States, anywhere in North America, anywhere in the world from the city of Chicago. And we continue to make those investments not only out of the city, but in the city. In fact, the example of that relationship is about 29% of China's air cargo now comes into the city of Chicago. So nearly a third of your air cargo comes here to the city of Chicago. If it runs on rails, if it runs on roads, or if it runs on runways, the city of Chicago is the center of distribution, logistics, and transportation. And it's also a reason that the city of Chicago is headquartered to more companies associated with transportation than any other city in America. So both the talent the transportation, the modern infrastructure, the diversity of our workforce, and the diversity of the companies that make up the city of Chicago and its economy speak to its ranking not only in North America, but around the globe. And if you have the opportunity, while I know you have very important meetings, I hope you take the opportunity to also see this city. If you look past the media and you can look down here, you see one of the great public spaces of any city in the world. Also, because of the foresight of my friend and colleague, Mayor Daley, we have one of the unique spaces with Millennium Park, and this weekend we opened up a great park to his wife, one of the unique parks for children and family, the Maggie Daley Park. And if you go around the city, you will see the expression through our architecture, our food, our music, our theaters, the quality of life that we seek for all people in all cities. And this meeting that commemorates both what we held last year with the Gateway Agreement and the anniversary of that agreement, but also with the reinvented and reimagined JCCT, the opportunity that cities today are all across the globe facing a series of opportunities and challenges. We have the opportunity to learn from each other, share ideas, not along just commerce, but culture and people. Because in this city, also, you have the largest Chinese language opportunity in any public school system in America. I look forward not only to hosting this agreement once, but I hope you see this as the opportunity to make it a regular visit to the city of Chicago as we build on the foundation of the reimagined JCCT, the Gateway Agreement, as we together find a way for not only our businesses to cooperate, but our people to learn to cooperate and learn from each other as we build a stronger future. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Wang Yang, Vice Premier of the People's Republic of China.
Mayor Emmanuel, Secretary Pritzker, Ambassador Froman, ladies and gentlemen, it is such a pleasure to be here at the luncheon. I would like to thank in particular the Chicago government for the thoughtful arrangement and a generous hospitality. I would like to thank you in particular, Mayor, for your heartwarming remarks, which literally heat up this room. It's my first time in Chicago, but like many Chinese, I'm no stranger to this city because we've long learned that men of this city are incredible. Not just because this is the hometown of President Obama or Michael Jordan, but also because back in 1886, the protests of Chicago men created the International Workers' Day. And this brought tangible benefits to the Chinese, who are all work and no play. Now, May the 1st is a statutory holiday in China now. Together with the weekends that fall before and after May the 1st, it has become a tourism peak for many Chinese. I'm sure because of the Chicago protest, many Chinese would travel to Chicago on May the 1st. We also know that women of Chicago are equally incredible, not just because the city produced former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and Secretary Pritzker and other outstanding female leaders, but also thanks to the protest in 1909 of Chicago women. We have the International Women's Day on March the 8th. And as a result, the hard-working Chinese women now have half a day off. Every time, my wife would do all the house chores on this day. Chicago is famously known as the Windy City. No matter how the Chicago people feel about it, let me tell you, the Chinese simply love wind. In the Chinese language, wind stands for something auspicious. It is also associated with smooth journey, favorable conditions, prime of life, flourishing career, and a safe return. Wind is critical for China's economy and social development. It not only brings us clean energy, but also can blow away city smog. If Chicago is ready to export your wind, and by the way, the price is fair, then I'm sure the 8 Chinese cities present today will be big buyers. Yesterday, Secretary Pritzker told me, Mayor Emmanuel is most bold and courageous. I'm sure you are ready to go for the deal. We are also happy to see that Chicago has put a lot of wind into the sales of China-U.S. Trade Cooperation. China is the largest trading partner of Chicago district. In the last decade, two-way trade grew by 16.3%, last year approaching $60 billion, accounting for 1/3 of Chicago district's foreign trade and 1/10 of China-U.S. trade. 60% of U.S. soybeans were sold to China. Most of them is traded in Chicago. Chicago has become a favored destination for Chinese investment. In July this year, Wanda Group invested $900 billion for the Lakeshore East development, and in October, Lenovo bought Motorola Mobility with $2.9 billion, the latest wave of Chinese investment here. Now, the theme of this luncheon is the Chicago and China Cities Gateway Partnership. If we compare China-U.S. business cooperation to a skyscraper, then close cooperation between provinces and cities is the cornerstone. When the governors and the mayors do their job well, then the State Council will have much easier time. That's why I happily accepted this invitation. You know, in one Chinese legend, we say 8 immortals crossed the sea by using their respective magical powers. The 8 Chinese cities present today are like 8 immortals. They crossed the Pacific in the hope to bring out their strength with their cooperation with Chicago. I'm happy to learn that 8 cities will build a SME service mechanism together with Chicago, and the Chinese Consulate General here will appoint special official to be responsible for connecting the SMEs between the two sides. It will be a major outcome for this JCCT session. A great Chinese poet, Li Bai, has a famous line which reads, "A time will come to ride the wind and cleave the waves. I'll set my cloud-like sail to cross the sea which raves." It means there will be a day I will cross the sea to reach the desired destination. Well, this is my message to the 8 Chinese cities present today. I hope with the help of Chicago Wind, you will cross the vast Pacific and bring our business cooperation to a new high. Thank you.